The November 3rd, 2020 council meeting is called back into session. Covette?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Colleagues, I move to adjourn the November 3rd, 2020 meeting.
I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. It has been moved by Vice Chairman Covette and seconded by Councilman Carlisle. Do we have any unfinished business on the November 3rd agenda? Seeing none, the November 3rd council meeting is hereby adjourned without objection. Sergeant at Arms, please call our November 17th, 2020 council meeting to order.
Oh yes, this Honorable Council of the City of Memphis is hereby called to order for the transaction of business pursuant to adjournment.
Thank you. I would like to recognize our chaplain for the day, Elder Michael Scruggs, Temple of Deliverance, Church of God in Christ. He was invited by Councilman Smiley. He will provide the prayer. Elder Scruggs. Elder Scruggs?
Doesn't appear that he can hear us.
Bryson, will you please give him a call?
Yes, ma'am.
While we're getting him online, council members, let me make sure. Do we have him? Councilman Easter Thomas, will you please recite the Pledge of Allegiance?
Gladly, Chairwoman. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Madam Comptroller, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Canale?
Here.
Carlisle?
Here.
Vice Chairman Covette?
Here.
Easter Thomas?
Present.
Ford? Johnson?
Present.
Jones?
Here.
Logan?
I'm not for sure if you all can hear me. I cannot hear anything. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I can't hear anything, so that's okay. As long as you can hear me, that's fine, but I can't hear anyone. And I heard 5 minutes ago, so I'm not for sure what has happened. So JB can actually text me what everyone is saying, because I can't hear anything, but I'll just go ahead and get started. This is technology for you.
Pray.
All right, so we're ready to pray. I saw the handshake. All right, we can pray. Good, I can see. Thank God. All right, let us pray right now. God, we thank you for another day. We thank you for your goodness. We thank you for your mercy. And God, we thank you for your grace. We thank you because this is the day that you have made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. God, we give this meeting over to you. We ask that you will bless this meeting. God, bless this city. Continue to let this city prosper. Memphis is a great place, God, that is led by some great people. So, God, we ask right now that you will continue to let your favor be upon Memphis and let favor do what our money can't do. Bless the city council, bless this meeting, God, and bless every business decision. Take us higher and continue to bless our efforts, God, and crown them with success. We thank you for the victory. We thank you for what you're going to do. Let peace and harmony as we even gather into this holiday season, God. Continue to protect us and cover us under the blood. It's already done. In the matchless name of Jesus, we pray. Thank God. Amen and amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We would normally allow Councilman Smiley to thank you, but you can't hear us anyway. So, Councilman Smiley, will you please send him a nice note from the chair and the council? Thank you so much.
I sure will. Send him a message now. Thank you.
Okay. Madam Comptroller, will you please continue with the roll call?
Councilmember Logan,
Present.
Morgan,
Here.
Smiley,
I'm here.
Swearingen,
Present.
Warren, Chairwoman Robinson.
Present.
Chairwoman Robinson, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Who's
You're
read the minutes from the previous meeting?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Colleagues, I've reviewed our previous meeting minutes from November 3rd, 2020, find them to be in order and move their adoption.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Comptroller, please conduct a roll call vote that was moved by Vice Chairman Covet and seconded by Councilman Canali.
Councilmember
Madam-
Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Covet,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
No.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley, Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye, that motion passes. Welcome to the November 17th, 2020 regular meeting of the Memphis City Council, which is being conducted electronically pursuant to the notice due to the COVID-19 emergency. Without objection, the notice of this meeting will be included in the minutes of this meeting. A notice of meeting was placed on the City Council webpage regarding how the public may electronically access the meeting and/or a recording of this meeting and how to provide written comments concerning any agenda item on any other matter prior to the meeting. Public comments were to be submitted to the Memphis City Council 24 hours prior to today's meeting. Vice Chairman Covet will read those comments at the appropriate time. He will only read those comments that included the requisite information, which was the person's name and address. Incomplete comments or those received late will be sent to council records and placed in the file. The following items are being held for 2 weeks until December 1st. That's item number 28, 29, and item 30. Are there any other items to be held? Hearing none, Madam Comptroller, let's move to item number 1.
Item number 1 is a resolution approving a planned development located at the southwest corner of South 3rd Street and Gilbert Avenue and the northeast corner of South 3rd Street and Lucerne Place, containing plus or minus 1.686 acres in the commercial mixed-use district and the residential urban district. The case number is PD 20-11.
Vice Chairman Covet.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Is Homer Brandon, the representative of the applicant, is he on the line?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Colleagues, there is no one in opposition. We heard this case in committee. We sent it here carefully with no recommendation. May I get a motion or I'll move it. Do I have a second to send this to the floor for discussion? Seconded by Councilman Warren. We had our presentation, colleagues. There is no opposition. So, Mr. Brennan, would you like to spend 60 seconds or so just reintroduce yourself to council?
Yes, sir. Homer Brannon. I represent the applicant. My address is 999 South Shady Grove. I would like to take a few seconds to thank the staff, Mr. Whitehead and Mr. Jeffrey, for their hard work and suggestions in making this a good application. I'd like to thank Brother Bob, who has called in, and if you want to hear from him, I'm sure he would love to speak, for their support, and for Allied Graphics, our neighbor to the north, and Parker Urethane on the west, for their support. And we appreciate all the councilman's time in looking at this case. And unless you have any questions of myself or Mr. Markham or Mr. Bowman, who is with me here today, we'd appreciate y'all's support. And this is going to be a really good development down on 3rd, and will really improve the area. And we're intending on spending a lot of money, and we're ready to go. We've got our architect ready to go. We've got Mr. Markham ready to go. And as soon as you approve it, we'll be on the way. And we've got our financing, our construction financing with Renaissance Bank in the process. So we're ready to go with your approval. And thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman.
All right, thank you, Scrappy. I see no members in the queue. Madam Chairman, this is moved by Colvette, seconded by Warren. You have the ball.
There's Ford.
Madam Comptroller, will you please conduct the roll call?
Councilmember Canali?
Yes.
Councilmember Canali?
Yes.
You said
Thank you. Carlisle?
Aye.
Vice Chairman Colvette?
Yes.
Easter Thomas?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Jones?
Aye.
Logan?
Aye.
Morgan?
Yes.
Smiley? Swearingen?
Aye.
Warren?
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson?
aye. That motion passes. Thank you so much. Madam Comptroller, please call item number 2.
Item number 2 is a resolution approving a special use permit located at 590 East Rains Road, containing 0.26 acre in the commercial mixed use -1 district. This resolution is sponsored by the Office of Planning and Development. It was held from November 3rd. The case number is SUP 20-07.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Colbert.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Mr. Bray, are you on the line?
Yes, sir. I'm on the line with the applicant Jerome Flowers as well.
All right, thank you very much. Colleagues, there is no opposition to this case. It was heard in committee, did receive no recommendation, but with that, I'll move it to the floor. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Who did?
Smiley.
All right, moved by Colbert, seconded by Smiley. We heard this case. Seeing as that there is no opposition, Mr. Bray, why don't you take 60 seconds? The citizens, by the way, say the live feed is down, but it's back up. Is that confirmed? Staff? Staff,
I'm checking now.
all right, because I really don't want to go through this twice.
Which live feed, YouTube or Granicus?
Council Lady Easter Thomas.
The citizen was talking about YouTube, but they also said that he came back up.
Okay, so, all right, then let's proceed. Mr. Bray, why don't you take 60 seconds, unless someone's in the queue, and I'll save your balance of time, but why don't you take 60 seconds to tell us about this case that we've already heard?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. As noted before, this was held at the previous meeting with the recommendation that we meet with the council members for this district. Mr. Flowers and myself met on the site with Councilwoman Johnson. Had a nice discussion with her, walked the site about where the improvements would be. One thing of note that we talked about at that time, all of the display vehicles will be in the back. There will be no display up on Range Road. Additionally, she recommended that we reach out to Bishop Wright, who has a large amount of property ownership in the area, and to Councilman Ford, and we have talked to both of them and gotten their support for this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bray. I see no other members in the queue, nobody waiting to get my attention to be recognized. It was moved by Cole, seconded by Smiley. Madam Chair, you have the ball.
Thank you. Madam Comptroller, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Canali,
No.
Carlisle,
No.
Vice Chairman Colvette,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
No.
Smiley,
Hold on.
Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye, that motion passes. Thank you. Madam Comptroller, will you please call item number 3?
Item number 3 is a resolution approving a special use permit located at 5050 Summer Avenue containing plus or minus 0.7 acre in the commercial mixed use district. This resolution is sponsored by the Office of Planning and Development. It was held from November 3rd. The case number is SUP 20-09.
Thank you, Councilman Covet.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Is Mr. McCaskill?
Yes, sir, I am.
Thank you. Colleagues, we have no opposition. This case was heard in committee, did receive no recommendation. I move it to the floor. May I have a second?
Morgan seconds.
Thank you.
All right, been moved by Colvette, seconded by Morgan. Again, no opposition. Mr. McCaskill, you'll take 60 seconds. Tell us about the case.
Okay, Tim McCaskill, 7891 Stage Hills Boulevard. This site is at Bartlett Road and Summer Avenue, about a block from White Station in Summer. It's been vacant for over 10 years. The last use was a used car lot. It's a triangular shaped piece of property, which makes it difficult for a lot of businesses to go there. For instance, some with a drive-through, like a fast food restaurant, it's not wide enough in the back to get the drive-through in. The property has a sewer easement running through it between our building and gas pumps, and that would also make it difficult for a lot of uses to build there. The south half of the lot is the part that our customers will use. The building is on the north part of the lot, and the parking lot and gas pumps from the south part, which is the farthest away from the residential of the subdivision. And there's actually a pool supply business north of us, behind us, that's across from the residential. The staff in the report states that they're recommending rejection because it's too close to residential. If you think about it, all convenience stores are close to residential. That's where their customer base is. If you think about it, Summer Avenue is probably the most commercial corridor in the city. From White Station all the way to East Parkway is commercial. Most parcels are 200 or 300 feet deep and all back up to single family residential. Everything north of Summer, once you get past the street and the commercial, is all residential all the way to the north loop. This property would not be any closer to residential than every other commercial property on Summer. It's a good use and it would help eliminate another vacant property in that area.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. McCaskill. I see Councilman Morgan's in the queue. You're recognized.
Thank you. Mr. McCaskill, do y'all have an estimated amount would be spent on construction and development of this property, as well as number of people it would employ once operational?
Yes, the building and gas pumps and develop the site is about $900,000. And it will employ, I can't tell you exactly how many are employed, but there's 2 people on every shift, and the hours of operation are 6 a.m. to midnight.
Okay. This is an interesting case. I get why OPD recommended rejection. I understand Councilman Collins' ordinance that he, I guess, put in place about 8 years ago. But we did have one letter of opposition. I missed it the first time reading through because it was so short, and it was really just contesting that there weren't other gas stations nearby, which there are at Summer Avenue. But it wasn't about quality of life. It really wasn't about the neighborhood. And I haven't had those neighbors reach out to me. They haven't shown up to really land use control board or this proceeding. So it's hard to get riled up on behalf of the neighborhood if the neighborhood hadn't, come to the table themselves. So in light of that, and that this has been a vacant property for over 10 years, and putting it to a productive use I think would be helpful. I'm going to vote in favor today, but I get it. It's a close call. And if any council member has a different judgment about it, I'd perfectly understand. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Morgan. Seeing no other members in the queue and nobody waiting to be recognized, Councilman Canale, do you wish to be recognized? Before I get to Canale,
Yes,
Councilman Johnson. Councilor Johnson, you're recognized.
Did I miss it? How many letters were actually sent out from in regards to this issue to the community? I'm sorry, Chair. Thank you for the opportunity.
Council lady, I think your image is kind of blurred. I don't know if everybody else heard it. Could you repeat it though, please?
Yes, I would like to know how many letters were sent out to the community in regards to this project from the zoning, not the zoning, the Office of Planning and Development.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Whitehead, are you on? Thank you, please. You're recognized.
Yes, sir. Josh Whitehead with the Division of Planning and Development. 54 notices were mailed out to the property owners within the 500-foot notice radius.
Okay, was there a meeting, a neighborhood meeting on
Yes,
this
ma'am.
subject?
Yes,
How
ma'am.
many people showed up?
I'll defer to Mr. McCaskill on that.
We had 3 people show up, and they were the business owner of the pool supply behind us and the business owner of the 2 buildings on Summer east of us.
Okay,
So there was 3 total.
okay. Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Council lady. Councilman Canale, you're recognized.
Is there going to be ingress? Thank you, Chairman. An egress on the Bartlett and Summer?
Yes, there is a curb cut on Summer and also a curb cut on Bartlett Road.
And any landscaping done towards the other side of the property, close to the neighborhood off Bartlett Road?
Yes, in fact, one of the conditions of approval is to have a landscape plan done, and we're going to landscape the entire perimeter of the site.
Any fencing?
Yes, in fact, there's an ornamental iron fence there now on the north half of the property that's going to stay.
Okay, that's all I had, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Canali. I see no other council. Lady Logan, you wish to be recognized?
Yes, thank you, Chair. How many of the letters that went out went to actual homeowners, or are the homes are owned, are the people that live there own the home? Often I've noticed that a lot of times letters are sent and they're renters in a home and they may not attend the meetings, the neighborhood meeting. But it stands to reason that no one showed up at this meeting, correct? No resident.
Yes, ma'am, there were no residents here.
That's all, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilman Carlisle, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to make sure I understand that this is the location that's right next to the putt-putt, right across from Bartlett Road. Am I off an intersection?
Yes, we're on the west side of the interstate. The putt-putt's on the east side.
Josh, do you have an aerial you can pull up?
Yes, sir, Councilman Carlisle, but I have a camera, I have a microphone, but I don't have a screen sharing ability. I can only do apparently two.
I'm passing you the presenter rights now, Mr. Whitehead.
Okay.
There you are.
Thank you. Okay. So this map, Josh Whitehead with the Division of Planning and Development. This map, I want to accomplish two things with it. To Councilwoman Logan's question, it does look like about half of the notices did go to residential parcels and about half went to commercial parcels. And then to answer Councilman Carlisle's question, Bartlett Road is one of those old squiggly farm roads that is discombobulated. So there is a Bartlett Road way over at the putt-putt, and it did once connect to this Bartlett Road, but no longer does it. This is just west of the old Kmart and just east of the old Fred P. Gaddis. Do you remember those things?
Thanks, man.
I remember Kmart. Yeah, I'm still having trouble. What's the hard address?
Let's go here.
What's the site address?
5050. So let's go down. Here it is. Ponchos is over here.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. I'm with you now. Okay. So this is where I was leading. I couldn't tell, and this is very helpful, whether this was a lit intersection or not. And so you're giving a full movement on a Summer and a full movement onto Bartlett Road. I hear Councilman Morgan's point about the developability of the site. I also recognize that we've been having some ongoing conversations about, what Summer is going to look like and how the city wants to drive this conversation, and having the residential neighborhood towards the rear. And this would be a bookend naturally. And I've spent time up at the Baptist church to the rear of this neighborhood. I'm not sure that the gas station would be the best site. So I think for me personally, I'm probably not supportive of a gas station on the site in hopes that a better use would come along. So I think I respectfully disagree with my colleague just on where it's located in the natural bookend with White Station. And as we start to look at commercial development again along this corridor, I don't think I'd change my position at this point, especially when you've got an Exxon down at the corner that does pretty good amount of volume. But those are just my personal thoughts. With that, I yield back.
Thank you, Councilman Carlisle. I see no other members in the queue. Wave at me if you wish to be recognized. Seeing none. Madam Chairman, moved by Colvett, seconded by Morgan. You have the ball.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Covet. Madam Comptroller, will you please call the roll on item number 3?
Councilmember Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
No.
Vice Chairman Colbert,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
No.
Logan,
No.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley,
No.
Harringen,
No.
Warren,
No.
Chairwoman Robinson.
No, that motion fails. Thank you. Madam Comptroller, will you please call item number 4?
Item number 4 is a resolution approving a special use permit located at parts of 4704 Yale Road, containing 1.7 acres in the commercial mixed use 2 district. This resolution is sponsored by the Office of Planning and Development. It was held from November 3rd. The case number is SUP 20-10.
Councilman Covet.
Thank you very much. Is Devin Ferris and Matt Peterson both on the line, please?
Matt Peterson's present. My business partner, Devin Ferris, actually had to attend a last minute family matter.
I understand. Colleagues, there is opposition on this one. So this case was heard in committee, did receive no recommendation. I'll move it to the full reasons of discussion. Is there a second?
Second, Smiley.
All right, moved, properly seconded. Let's do this. Devin, I've got 5, nobody's speaking in opposition, but I have 5 letters of opposition. So let's do this. If there's no objection from the body, I'll give you 5 minutes to present your case, knowing that we've already heard the nuts and bolts of it. I'll then read the letters of opposition, and then we'll go to the queue for other council members' questions. And might I give you some advice that you don't have to use all 5 minutes, and you may save some of the balance of your time for potential rebuttal to the letters I'm going to read. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, yes, sir. I was actually going to ask about the letters you're going to read. So at what point are you going to read those after the presentation? And my 5 minutes will also take part in the response to those letters?
Yes, sir. To be clear, you could speak for up to 5 minutes. When you are done, I will then read the letters of opposition. Then if you wish to use the balance of your time to respond to those letters, you may. Once your 5 minutes is up, then I will go to the full council for their questions and queries. They may have further questions of you. At that point, obviously, you have time to answer. It doesn't count towards the 5 minutes. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. So if I use all 5 minutes and then you read the letters, I won't have a chance to respond. Is that correct?
That is correct. We have time limits for both sides.
Yes, sir.
Do any of the council members, I'm putting 5 minutes on, do any of the council members add time to that? All right, hearing none, let's go ahead and proceed. May I have your name and address for the record, sir?
May I have screen sharing capabilities before the timer starts, please?
We will not start your timer until the screen share is up and I have your name and address, I promise.
Perfect. My name is Matt Peterson. I'm a principal of Estacado Interests. I am the developer and purchaser for the applicant for the convenience store located for SUP 20-10.
Staff, can we give him screen sharing capability? There we go. All right, your time begins now, sir.
Okay. On Monday, September 28th. Sorry, I'm just trying to. There we go. On Monday, September 28th at 7 p.m., we held a neighborhood meeting. We sent notices to 83 properties, 30 of which have non-local owners, meaning 48 of the properties, 53 of the properties are rental units. We had no attendees, so we took it a step further on Sunday, October 8th, and went out to knock doors within the radius that we mailed the notices. We wanted to hear questions, concerns, and see if there was any citizens who actually were in approval of our development. We actually received 21 in favor, 4 against, and 36 who either were not home or did not want to talk to us. Since reading the staff report, we have modified our site plan and added a condition for approval that we subdivide the rear to continue to promote commercial development and along Yale Road, and it no longer has double frontage and just cross access. And this was a condition to our approval with the Planning and Zoning Committee. Attached is an overall site plan we're proposing to do with our development. As you can see, there are 2 fast food QSR parcels pictured with a future strip center for other commercial development along Yale Road. We are in talks with Taco Bell for the remaining lot along Austin P Highway to the north of a proposed convenience store. The small area plan of the Raleigh Town Center Anchor neighborhood, as you may be aware, the city sold 8.65 acres to a private developer just under 2 months ago for $800,000 after owning the property for over 15 years. And that transaction closed on September 28th. We are currently under contract to purchase our property, which is only 1.66 acres, for $550,000. Brett Davis, actually, with the Office of Planning and Development, actually made us aware that the private developer who bought this land from the city pivoted away from the city implemented small area plan and has moved toward pad site development. The sale of the city land has proven to be extremely beneficial and spurred commercial development with national retailers, including Starbucks and a proposed Chick-fil-A. As you can see, our overall site plan ties in well with the development across Austin P Highway. Retailers will include SunTrust Bank, soon to be Truist, as well as Patriot Bank, Starbucks, the proposed Chick-fil-A, our proposed development with Murphy Express, and the proposed Taco Bell. I want to take them, and here is an overall view of the site plan again for consideration. I wanted to take a minute and talk about the taxes and the increase it'll bring to the city. The purchase of our 1.66 acre property with the remaining 5.3 acres will generate the same amount of tax revenue as the sale of the 8.65 acre land across the highway that the city sold. Our lot will increase revenue by 273% or $15,000. Once our development is complete, an increase of $77,000 or 1,000% will go to the city. And once the entire corner is developed, it'll be an increase of over $300,000 and over 4,000%. These are elevations for a proposed convenience store with Murphy Express. I want to take a minute and talk about Murphy Express. Murphy is not your average retailer. Murphy Express is the brand of Murphy Oil USA, a Fortune 262 company and publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. They are considered investment grade by institutions including Moody's and Standard & Poor. They have over 1,400 locations, are committed to delivering low price fuel throughout the United States, and are committed to their area. Lastly, I would like to, on Thursday, October 8th, our application was approved with the following conditions. If approved by City Council, we ask that the following modifications be removed from the Raleigh Plaza Shopping Center, and we revert back to applicable laws, statutes, and ordinances. As of right now, this property was platted over almost 40 years ago, with specific landscape requirements, building area requirements, curb cut requirements, and the applicability of one sign. As some of you may know, this used to be one shopping center that was torn down 10 years ago, and this property has sat vacant ever since. We want to move forward with pad site development and rebuild a shopping
center. Sorry to interrupt, sir, but you're running out of time. Wrap it up, please.
Yes, sir. And benefits that we'll bring to the area are additional commercial development. We're going to clean up a corner that's currently an eyesore. We're going to increase local residential home values. And our goal is to encourage future growth and bring new commercial development to an area that locals can be proud of for years to come. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That went through the full 5 minutes, a little bit more than that. Colleagues, we have 5 letters in opposition, but nobody speaking. I'll read them to you real quick. First one comes from Beverly Harbin of 4748 New Allen Road. She says, requesting the application be disapproved for a new gas station at the corner of Austin P and Yale. The Raleigh community does not need a gas station at this location. There are multiple gas stations within a block of that location. The Raleigh community needs a great. Another gas station meets no need. Second one is from Demetrius Halliburton at 8255 Macon Road. He writes, as a business owner, alumni of Raleigh, Egypt, former resident of Raleigh, and general contractor that serves in the Raleigh community, I truly believe that community development and economic growth starts with the business in that said community. I also believe that our fellow residents in the Raleigh community deserve to have their voices heard, and they are speaking clearly, stating they do not want another gas station. This gas station that is being presented will conclusively bring the property values down in surrounding neighborhoods, will not provide any employment opportunities, and will increase the opportunity for loitering, which is closely correlated to crime activities. Moreover, the majority of gas stations in that area have a tendency to sell food that generally adds to the high blood pressure epidemic that is hitting our Black community the hardest. Approval of this case would ultimately impact the character of the neighborhoods and would interfere with Memphis 3.0 comprehensive plan. Lastly, there's no need for this gas station in this area, as there are already plenty to choose from. They're less than a mile from each other. I believe our goals are similar, Council, in that we want better for our communities. And if you vote yes to this case, you are going against your agenda for our communities. John Coley from 3402 Jocelyn Street writes, as a private citizen living in the Raleigh Bartlett Meadows subdivision, I am asking you as a member of the City Council to vote no to planning and zoning case SUP 20-10, 4704 Yale Road. Another gas station convenience store is not in this area where we already have 5 such businesses, and it would significantly distract from the newly established Raleigh Springs Park area. Thank you for your consideration. Tory Bates writes from 4100 Raleigh Millington Road. Greetings, Council. As a business leader and resident of Raleigh, the last thing we need is another gas station charging inflated gas prices and high prices on unhealthy hot food because there are residents only options. I am asking you to vote no to planning and zoning case SUP 20-10 4704 Yale. Finally, Shelley Lewis writes to us from 4114 Stillwood Drive. I have lived in Raleigh for over 30 years and I have watched it change from when I first moved here. Please vote no to planning and zoning case SUP 20-10 4704 Yale Road. Raleigh does not need another gas station on Austin P. There is a gas station at the intersection before this location and another gas station at the next intersection after this location. Not to mention that there is a gas station already at Yale and Austin P. Why is there a need for a gas station on every corner? We want to build Raleigh up, not make it a route for gas stations. Would you want a gas station on every corner of your neighborhood? I think not. The residents and families in Raleigh don't deserve that. Now, if it was a nice family style restaurant, I'm sure the Raleigh residents would not mind, because we want businesses that we can support and enjoy as families. So please vote no for this case. Thank you in advance for taking the time and acknowledging my concerns. Colleagues, that concludes the letters we have. I'll go to the queue. Councilman Smiley, you're recognized.
Thank you, good sir. I'm trying to place this because I think my law office is essentially around the corner. Is this proposed development? Is it, I guess, across the street from I guess on the other side of Yale Road, where the other side of Yale Road, I guess, adjacent from the Raleigh Springs development?
Applicant?
The Raleigh development is on the southeast corner of the intersection. We're along the northeast corner along Austin Peay Highway.
Okay. And so you said you during the meetings, the attempted meetings, when you all, well, not meetings, when you all went door knocking, could you give me those numbers again?
Yes, sir. We had 21 signatures in approval, 4 in denial, and 36 residents who either were not home or did not care to speak with us.
You care to speak with you all? How difficult was it? You know, I guess my reservations about moving forward when it comes to any development, when it seems to be some opposition, is the individuals in the community not having an opportunity to truly address, you know, the concerns due to COVID. So my initial thought here, I guess, would be to vote no, unless you all would be amenable to, you know, just waiting, attempting to reach out to the other members in the community to have another community meeting. Because I don't want to vote on a project when I believe that, you know, everyone has had an opportunity to, you know, to speak on how they want their community to be developed. We've heard from, I guess, at least 5 individuals in the area who have strong opposition to it. And, you know, what I would like to see is for you to have a meeting with those individuals in the community about how they want their community to develop, at least to try to have that conversation. So right now, it'll be tough for me to vote in favor, and I'm right now I'm on the lines of moving to hold this item.
Right, and our notices were actually only sent within the radius required by the city, and that's who we went and knocked doors with. And as you're aware, it's, you know, extremely difficult to spur any sort of meetings right now, you know, of people. And while that may be a you know, an issue, that's why, you know, we wanted to go out. We wanted to hear, you know, firsthand from people. 2 of the 4 no's we actually received were simply from citizens who didn't want to see any commercial development in general. They like their little neighborhood that's been, you know, quiet for some time, and the thought of the spur of commercial growth can actually be pretty troublesome to people, which we certainly understand. Another thing I wanted to also bring up is, you know, our proposed development, while it may be in store, it's with a national retailer who's committing 20 years to the area. They're a Fortune company, and they are their mission is to deliver low price fuel to citizens. I can make a promise that there is a regulation in the state of Tennessee on how low you can drop your fuel prices, but the chances are extremely higher than not that our Murphy Express fuel station will be anywhere from 2 to 5 cents lower than the nearest 4 convenience stores.
So let me just ask you this question. What do you say to the members of the community who are just of the position that there's just too many gas stations? How do you sell them on the idea? Is there any way that you can sell them on the idea?
There is to a certain extent. The first thing we like to go to is what I just mentioned, is that this isn't a local operator who's going to come in and put down a convenience store that's going to be lower class, attract crime. I mean, we're talking about an operator that's got 1,400 locations, corporate guarantee. They have a district manager infrastructure to keep stores in line. It's a premier 2,800 square foot store that overall will cost $3.3 million, will employ a handful of salaried managers, and then, an even bigger handful of part-time employees.
Okay, I have no further questions. I would love to hear from some of my colleagues as it relates to this before I can make up my mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Smiley. Councilman Logan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Colleagues, this is in the heart of renewal in Raleigh. It's right across the street from the new Raleigh Town Center, and it's right across the street from a gas station that's already existing. There are 5 gas stations in the vicinity. And there's a mounting problem with homelessness in the area, and that corner is one of them. And we found that we've been having a lot of difficulty managing people loitering at the gas stations. In Raleigh, there was an uptick in crime at corner stores and gas stations, and deal with a lot of trash and debris and just unwanted issues when we're trying to spur economic development. As I said, the city has spent millions of dollars at this particular corner, and it's went through the Memphis 3.0 process. That their recommendation was not to have this gas station. If you look at the paperwork, the initial recommendation was to reject it. And also, I attended the meeting. The approval was with conditions, but there was not a lot of notice. I know they said they knocked on doors, but when you knock on doors, you don't know who you're speaking with. They could be the cousin of somebody, or, you just really don't know. And I don't know what the conversation was. But what I do know is that this is not the idea for this area. There are a number of, within 400 feet, I would say there are 4 neighborhoods that are working and striving to build their property values in their neighborhoods and do not need this gas station. It doesn't fit the decor or the architectural structure that we're looking for to match the Raleigh Town Center, and it doesn't fit the vision. As I said, we've had problems with crime, with trash and debris, with homelessness, or loitering at the gas stations, and this would not be in line with what Raleigh is looking for. My constituents have reached out to me, whether it's email, text, phone calls, stop in the grocery store, through Nextdoor. How could this happen is what they asked. And so I would encourage you all to let's think about the direction in which we're taking our city. We do not want gas stations on every corner. We do want to have economic development and nice restaurants. And, there is a Starbucks coming across the street, and there's talks with Chick-fil-A and some other things. We want to see that type of development in and around our anchors, not more gas stations. So I would encourage your support to vote in favor of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Council Lady Logan. Next in the queue is Councilman Carlisle.
Thank you, Chair. I typically, I know they probably don't want to get drug into this, but they are the largest next door neighbor, and she's got to be around because they're on the docket. Mary Claire, are you on the call?
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
I am.
I'm dragging you into this.
Oh, thank you so much.
I know, and I know that you guys probably haven't. I mean, I don't. Here's the deal. I mean, the city has a significant investment in Memphis 3.0 at large, but I mean, this is one of the few moments in which they are the direct next door neighbor. And I know it's always a balancing act of finding. We just went through this on Summer Avenue of finding development versus finding a bird in the hand that may start producing tax dollars versus hanging out there a little longer, finding something that the community may see as a higher and better use as an anchor. Does housing and community development and or the city have any position on this intersection?
Well, I haven't discussed this specific proposal with either Director Young or Chief McGowan, but I can tell you that in working with 3.0 on thinking about what sort of development we'd be looking for on the remainder of the 20 acres that we have available at Raleigh Springs Civic Center. Our focus based on, again, 3.0 and some of the feedback we've been getting from the community was to focus more on things like a mixed-use development or even senior-oriented housing, not necessarily subsidized, but more senior-friendly, multifamily type of housing. And so, obviously, a gas station across the street impacts the desirability of residential on the remaining portion of the site.
All right, I'll let you off the hook there.
Thank you. How was that for tap dancing?
That was good. That was good. I mean, I guess I could dig into more on the corporate guarantee and things like that and national operators, but I'm not sure at this point that it really matters from a technical standpoint. I hear my colleague from the area, and I think I would go where Councilman Smiley was headed. I think that I'm going to toss this out there, not as a motion, but just kind of get a reaction. Perhaps maybe the best avenue forward to see if they're, I don't know, to navigate this is head where JB was headed and see if maybe we hold this for a month or so and see if there can't be a meeting of the minds. But if my colleague from this district wants a vote tonight, I'll honor that as well.
Tell you what, Councilman, why don't we continue through the queue because other members wish to be recognized who haven't spoken yet. If it's okay with you, rather than go into any kind of motion to hold or whatever, let's keep doing. All right, Councilman Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm growing old and tired. It appears that a gas station is an only option that we have for any vacant piece of property in Memphis. And I don't think that that's the case. Especially now, I'm of the, when we take a look at the one on Summer, it seems to have been, it wasn't at a major intersection. This is at a somewhat major intersection. So I can see it going there, but with the other gas stations that you have in proximity there, I just don't think it's the best use there. We have developed the Raleigh Town Center, and we hope that that's going to spur some economic development. But I don't feel that we should go to the first person that asks us to dance at that location. Let's look and see what other type of development takes place there before we commit to a gas station at that location. But Mr. Whitehead, do we have, what I would be interested in is that, do we have almost like a best practice? Do we know how many gas stations we have? We look at some other cities. What's a typical number of gas stations per 1,000 citizens, whatever the case may be. But it just seems like every meeting that we have, we are approving gas station, or we're being asked to approve gas station after gas station after gas station after gas station. And this overall proliferation of gas stations with the competition, some do well, some fall by the wayside, and we're stuck with these empty buildings for years. So, and we don't have enough, and I guess they aren't built enough with enough versatility that somebody can readily and easily come in and have a more adaptive use for that. So I just wanted to get an idea of how many do we have? How many per 100? Do we have enough? I would tend to think that we do, but I would like to dab on that.
Madam Chair, if I can, Josh Whitehead with the Division of Planning and Development. It looks like I'm in heaven, but I'm on the floor. That is a great idea, Councilman Jones. I'm going to look into that because I agree with you 100%. We are having an onslaught of these kind of requests, and that is the exact kind of data that I think will help us formulate a recommendation one way or the other and provide data to you. Historically, I know that Memphis apparently has historically loved gas stations because when you look at the older parts of town, North Memphis, Midtown, and South Memphis, it seems like every corner of every block has some kind of environmental problems because it had a gas station on it at one time. So if we do have a higher per capita level, it's just part of our DNA, but that doesn't mean we can't change it.
Thank you. I'd love to see that.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Jones. All right, because Councilman Logan and Smiley have spoken before, but Council Lady Easter Thomas is not. I'll recognize Council Lady Easter Thomas to speak first, and then I'll start going back to the folks who want to speak again.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to say that I'm in support of my colleague, Councilwoman Logan. I know that she is in deep roots with the community as she is a part of the Raleigh CDC. She is the community with them. And then also recognizing a lot of those names who sent in letters in opposition, recognizing that as well. And so to the tune of my colleague, Councilman Jones' point, historically, and what Mr. Whitehead just said, historically, we have been forced into a lot of environmental hazards in our Black communities. And quite frankly, I don't see a lot of gas station plans coming up in other districts. They only are coming up in a lot of the heavily Black ones. So in support of my council colleague, Logan, I also support voting no against this. And if she wants as well, call for the vote today.
All right. Thank you, Council Lady Easter Thomas. Council Lady Logan, you're recognized again.
Thank you so much, Chairman, and thank you, Councilwoman Easter Thomas. You're so true. We have to live with the effects of what happens in our community. And as a body, I would hope that we would consider that. If you don't live in the area, please consider that there are people that have to live with your vote. And as she said, and as Josh said, there sometimes, it causes long-term damage when you just make a decision like that. So please consider what you heard from the residents as well as your colleague who has been entrenched in the community. This is not what we're looking for. And I do call for the vote at this time. I move that we vote.
Before you do that, Council Lady Logan, the applicant has asked to speak. Does anybody wish to recognize them?
I recognize the good sir. Mr. Peterson, maybe? I think it's his name.
Councilman Smiley, recognize you, Mr. Peterson. The floor is yours.
Thank you,
I always
Councilman.
love a good rebuttal.
Well, I guess my initial response is, I'd like to start with the smaller things and then move to the bigger issues that were brought to light. But the first thing is this property naturally sits at a hard corner between two arterial roads. It's over 6 acres. It's a shopping center that's been vacant for over 10 years. And was most likely an effect. It was an effect of the Raleigh Springs Mall that the city bought. Based off of our discussion in our pre-development meeting with city staff, it was mentioned, this ordinance for the SUP preventing our development was put in place to prevent gas stations on lots that are especially adjacent to residential neighborhoods, which is not the case with our property. And then moving on to bigger issues, I'd really just like to address the topic of the Memphis 3.0 plan. And while this application sits for a property directly across the street from the Raleigh Springs Town Center, it won't have any frontage to the town center. We're subdividing our lot. We're actively seeking another national user to take that lot. With Taco Bell taking the remaining frontage along Austin Peay Highway, it will spur additional commercial growth along Yale Road. And as far as the 3.0 plan goes, I just want to revisit the slide where the city owned land directly across Austin Peay Highway here, where the 3.0 plan was implemented. They moved away from the urban core, the vision of apartments and street front retail. And most importantly, this property is owned by a private citizen. This is a private owner. He once owned the shopping center. That went away with the city. There's talk about economic development. This is with a national retailer who's Fortune 267, once in a lifetime. If you were to call any national fast food users, such as Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, they will know who the CEO of Murphy Express is by name and will sing the praises of Murphy Express. Murphy Express has over $3.5 million budgeted per year for environmental cleanup. Now, you look at the conversation about how there's convenience stores on the south side, east side, every side of town. Those are convenience stores that are dilapidated and no longer in business because they were poorly managed. And I don't think that the city should shy away from an opportunity to have a flagship retailer here who will continue to bring back jobs and economic development to this corner. When there's one, there's all. There's already 4 retailers here, and one of which under construction. We would love to be the second, but there are a handful of pad site retailers who are not on this corridor and all think highly of this tenant. And this will kick off the development for this corner, and in addition to the land the city sold, which I am in favor of that sale. I think what's happening across the street is great. With the citizens we did talk to and got signatures from, they were jumping for joy about the Starbucks. They didn't even know there was a Starbucks going in there. The city sold that land. That, I guess those are my closing remarks.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Peterson. Councilman Smiley, you wish to be recognized. Council Lady Logan will close us out. Councilman Smiley, be recognized.
Real quick, Mr. Peterson, I believe you closed well. I'm just not sure you were able to do enough to sway what appears to be a made-up council. Kudos to you, sir. Manuel.
Thank you, Councilman Smiley. Council Lady Logan, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. As we reimagine Memphis, as well as reimagine our individual districts and mine, reimagining Raleigh, we're headed in the right direction with the investments that we've made, with the TIF that we've made, the investment in the community and the people in the community, and giving them hope of renewal and hope that we're going to move forward. Let's not step back by putting gas stations, corner stores there. We already have enough gas stations. That's not what we spent 2 years envisioning with the Memphis 3.0. It was not another gas station. So let's keep the momentum that we're going in with national chains such as Starbucks and the Raleigh Town Center, senior citizens facilities and services, and just improve the quality of life. I would urge you, colleagues, to vote no, to support the community and the direction that we're going in as the body and as the administration, as a city. And it's not to fill our city up with gas stations, whether they be a boutique gas station or not. That's not what we're looking for. So I would just urge you to support, vote for the community and vote no. Thank you. I yield, Chair. And I would like for us to go to vote.
There you have it. Moved by Colvette, seconded by Smiley. Chairlady, you have the ball.
Madam Comptroller, will you please call the roll on item number 4?
Councilmember Canali,
Item number 5.
pardon me, Councilmember Canali,
Oh, I'm sorry. No, my vote's no.
Carlisle,
No.
Vice Chairman Colvette,
No.
Easter Thomas,
No.
Ford,
No.
Johnson,
No.
Jones,
No.
Logan,
No.
Morgan,
No.
Smiley,
Oh, man.
Swearingen,
No.
Warren,
No.
Chairwoman Robinson.
No, that motion fails. Thank you. Madam Comptroller, will you please call item number 5?
Item number 5 is a resolution approving a special use permit located at parts of 3372 Austin P Highway containing 67 acres in the commercial mixed use -2 district. This resolution is sponsored by the Office of Planning and Development. It was held from November 3rd. The case number is SUP 20-13.
Vice Chairman Colvette.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Is Mary Claire Bories on the phone, please?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Colleagues, there is no, we did not receive any opposition to this application. It was heard in committee, did receive no recommendation. With that applicant, if you just want to give us, say, 60 seconds and not the case, you have the floor. May I have your name and address first, though, for the record?
Of course, Mary Claire Boris, address is 924 North Idlewild Street, Memphis, Tennessee, 38107. Thank you. So I think like some of you and many of the people who've been involved in the Raleigh Springs transformation of the Raleigh Springs Mall, I have my own personal story of love for the mall. I learned to drive in the parking lot. But, you know, times have changed and we have very much enjoyed the process of transforming that site into the beautiful new Raleigh Springs Civic Center. And if I could just for one quick second plug the fact that we will be having a virtual ribbon cutting ceremony on Thursday at 3:30. You'll be able to view that by going on to the city's website, specifically onto the HCD page, and we'll have it up so that the community, since we can't have everybody there because of COVID, you can watch it, a live stream of the event. But back to this project, this is a repair shop for fleet maintenance in order to repair the police vehicles that are stationed at the new Austin P station. This station is unique in that it actually combines two previously separate stations. Old Allen Station, the folks from Old Allen Station are on one side, and the folks from traffic and special ops who were previously housed on Union Avenue are on the other side. And in particular, traffic, of course, is very hard on their cars. And for those of you who are familiar with the Union Avenue site, you'll know that there is I believe it's a 12-bay fleet maintenance shop behind the Union Avenue precinct, actually in between the precinct and Idlewild Elementary School. And so since that property will be sold, this new repair shop will take the place of that facility and repair the vehicles there. I know that Councilwoman Logan did have a question in the committee session. And I don't know if he's still on, but Josh Whitehead does have the correct images of the landscaping. You are correct that we have not yet submitted a final landscaping plan. We did have some trees illustrated in the concept plan, but we do intend to plant lots of trees, including, as we talked about at the community meeting, putting evergreens in between the crepe myrtles, but on the shop side of the wall.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Mary. Always good to see you. There is no opposition. I see Councilman Carlisle is in the queue. You're recognized.
Thank you, Chair Mary Claire. Good job tiptoeing. Last item. All right, so we have to hold you to the same standard as we would anybody. So it is, vehicle repair. Obviously, landscaping and shielding is very important. Clearly, you guys have chosen to move it to the rear of the property, but it's abutting residential neighborhoods. I assume Director Adams and his team plan to keep ingress and egress out of that site at some sort of reasonable hours, et cetera, and not be a nuisance to the rear neighborhood, correct?
Yes, absolutely. And most importantly, we have placed the entrance to the facility itself is on the bisecting street so that vehicles can also enter and exit by way of Austin P without actually having to ever go onto Scheibler.
Yeah, that's great. And then I guess lighting wise, same thing. I mean, I guess you guys, because you abut a residential neighborhood, will still have the same requirements that.
Yes, we actually have already had a lighting plan study done, and we actually did submit that with the SUP application, and it's limited foot candles because we don't need bright lights.
Councilwoman Logan and I expect this to be the best looking general services facility in the country. All right.
I don't know if I can beat some of the stuff, but I can definitely beat anything around these parts.
That's all right. Well, look, again, congratulations on the Raleigh Town Center in general. Very exciting. It's been a long time coming. And this is a great synergy for the city to be able to utilize and activate some portion of it. And but I figure I just take the time just to say congratulations.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Carlisle. Councilman Warren, you're recognized.
Yes, I didn't realize that you were going to be taking all those cars out from the back of the police station on Union, and I heard you say you're going to sell it. I know the Idlewild School could use some playground property. Maybe you can sell it to the school system. So as you're thinking about it, remember the kids. And good job on that. It'll be great out there.
Thank you, Councilman Warren. Council Lady Logan, you're recognized.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mary Claire. I want to make sure everything else that was presented to it during the community meetings is still the same. Nothing has changed. Okay, great. All righty, thank you. Appreciate you all that you all have done. And I also appreciate how you all have been very consistent in taking care of any concerns that the community has had, especially the poop on the walking trail. So thank you all, General Services, George Abrams for taking care, Antonio for taking care of that. We appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Council Lady Logan. I think I may have missed making them. I'll make the motion. Can I get a quick second though, just so I wrap it all up? All right, been moved by Colvett, seconded by Smiley. This is item 5. Madam Chairman, you have the ball.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller, for clarity. This item was moved by Vice Chairman Colvett and seconded by Councilman Smiley. Will you please call the roll on item number 5?
Councilmember Canale?
Yes.
Carlisle?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Colvett?
Yes.
Easter Thomas?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Jones?
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley,
Yes, ma'am.
Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye. That motion passes unanimously. Madam Comptroller, will you please call item number 6?
Item number 6 is a resolution approving a street and alley closure located at the east-west public alley known as Barbaro Alley, located north of Gayoso Avenue between Wagner Place and Front Street, containing plus or minus 2,640 square feet in the Central Business and Cotton Row Historic Overlay District. This resolution is sponsored by the Office of Planning and Development. The case number is SAC 2020.
Thank you. Vice Chairman Covet.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Is Mr. Parker on the call?
Move the item first, please.
All right.
Move it.
The case was heard. The committee did receive no recommendation. I move it to the floor. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Seconded by Warren. Mr. Parker, did I hear you're on the call?
Yes.
Very good. Colleagues, there is no opposition on this. So, Mr. Parker, why don't you give us, say, 60 seconds, 1 to 2 minutes, just tell us about the case.
Great, thank you. We'll begin by Blair Parker, 5100 Wheeless Drive in Memphis. And we appreciate staff's thorough review of this and information provided back to us. Generally speaking, we would like to close a 10-foot wide alley. Both owners on both sides have agreed to this. The purpose of this is for security and security only. In the committee session, I believe that Councilman Carlisle asked what this would be used for. And my understanding is, since there's an underground electric line that goes between these buildings, there's not a whole lot that we can do with this. So security is the main issue, and that it will be fenced on both ends, from what I understand.
Chairman, I respond.
Thank you, Blair. Councilman Carlisle, you're recognized.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, colleagues, that I had the opportunity to speak with one of the developers on the property and get an understanding. And as someone who's in and around downtown all the time, I'm fully supportive of the closure. It's an opportunity to force pedestrian traffic down safer, better, well-lit thoroughfares to the river into downtown, and the opportunity for security as well as a amenity space for the investment that's being made is something I think we should all support. And with that, I yield back.
All right, thank you much. Thank you, Councilman Carlisle. Councilman Warren, you're recognized.
Thank you. I got a hold of Mr. Orville and asked him what they were thinking. And one of the things he said was they were planning on actually putting tables out there in the alley at certain points. So I guess if it's potently bad with an electrical underground cable, they may not do that. But I got the impression they were actually planning on using that space for the restaurant or some other purposes for the people living there. And they wanted to secure the space.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you, Councilman Warren. I see no other members in the queue. Nobody waving at me. I assume you're ready to vote. It was moved by Colvette, seconded by Warren. Chair Lady, you have the ball.
Thank you. Madam Comptroller, will you please call the roll on item number 6?
Councilmember Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Colvette,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley,
Yes, ma'am.
Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye. That motion passes. Thank you. Madam Comptroller, please call the consent agenda items 7 through 13 with same night minutes. On items number, I'm sorry. Somebody say something?
Yes, it's Easter Thomas.
Yes, ma'am. Is there a problem?
Yes, I was going to make a motion that we separate number 7 from the full consent agenda to be voted on separately.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Without objection.
Without objection, I'm pulling item
Without
number.
objection. Thank you, sir.
Okay. And I would like to pull item number 11 as well. We have a council member who would like to recuse himself. So Madam Comptroller, will you please call items number 7 and 11 and then the consent agenda? Thank you.
Yes, Chairwoman Robinson. Item number 7 is a notation from the Land Use Control Board that the following case was heard and recommendation made requesting a date of public hearing. The case number is PD 20-08, Norris and Hernando Plan Development.
Thank you. Vice Chairman Covet.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. This is an item on consent agenda, colleagues, that we've obviously just pulled off. This is a standard Land Use Control Board has heard the following case, and we are to set a date of public hearing, the date being December 1st, 2020. Mr. Whitehead, if you're still on the line, right?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. And I was going to thank you for calling on me, Josh Whitehead with the Division of Planning Development. I understand that there is some level of concern by council members over this case, but I would strongly recommend that if a member of the council wants to vote no on this case, it does so after a full public hearing. I fear that if we reject this case by not allowing a public hearing, we will be overturned in Chancery Court. And Chancery Court won't just overturn it, it'll remand it back to us, which is, now we have to deal with it again. So I would urge the body to go ahead and either set another date for a public hearing or set a date, because if we reject it in this form without a public hearing, I have concerns over its survival.
All right, so to clarify, Mr. Whitehead, what you're saying is a yes vote only sets a date of public hearing. It's not saying that you agree with this. It's just saying that we'll hit us and then we'll vote on the actual case itself then. I see Councilman Smiley. Do you still wish to be in the queue?
Well, I was essentially going to ask the question to Josh that I thought the public hearing was required by law, but he clarified it and he spoke to it. So nothing else from me.
All right, thank you, Councilman. I see no other members in the queue. Councilman Ford, do you wish to be recognized?
Yes, sir. I want to be recognized. I've given these people enough time to pull this and forget about it. Now, if they want to have a hearing, that's good, but I'm asking all my council members to vote no on this particular one. Other than that, I'm going to tell a story about these people. Ms. Logan, thank you when you talking about gas stations and what they do. Okay, these people here are the same way. They've been harassing the neighborhood, everything else. Other Sunday, we had to call the police on them, okay? But hey, this man, I've given him chance after chance to pull it. There's some things that he has done. Now, if he wants to bring it in, I will let the whole public know what he's doing, okay? I'm giving him this last chance, because there's a lot of money involved in this particular deal here, and he really don't want me to tell the story, okay? He really don't want me to tell the story. I'm giving him his last chances to pull it and come out, and I won't say anything else. He can go somewhere else. But if he wants to keep on and keep on, because that neighborhood where he trying to put something, they are registered voters. They vote for a dog if he in the race. These people do not want it. I do not want him and his little group harassing the people in this particular neighborhood. Very good neighborhood. And I hope he's listening, because if he don't pull it, and if we got to, hey, come back with the council, I'm gonna call him out. So I'm giving him this last chance, and I'm talking about money. So I hope he's listening to me today. This is his last chance. I'm tired of dealing with him, okay? So, Mr. Josh, I've talked with you. I've talked with a few of the others. You better talk to this man. Other than that, he's gonna really be embarrassed by me. That's all I have to say. And colleagues, and Mr. Logan, I feel you when you're talking about coming in the neighborhood with these gas stations. And they want to come in a black neighborhood, and then they want to abuse and misuse us and figure they can just do that. That's not happening here. And I really hope he's listening, because if he's not, oh, he will be listening when we end up talking about it again. And he ain't gonna want to hear what I got to say to him, okay? I appreciate you and thank you all very much.
Okay, colleagues, before we go to Carlisle, Johnson, and Morgan, all we're voting on is a date of public hearing unless, listening to Councilman Ford, they apparently wisely choose to pull this. Might I ask Councilman Carlisle, Johnson, Morgan, unless they want to ask about the date of December 1st, to please withdraw from the queue. Otherwise, Councilman Carlisle, I will recognize you.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to make a couple comments. That one, I always support my colleague, Councilman Ford. My concern here is the threat of litigation, and perhaps, and Josh, this is towards you, perhaps maybe the best thing in an effort to allow the representative from the district and these applicants to get something worked out, we delay this public hearing notice versus not allow it and see what happens. But other than that, again, I want to support my colleague, but I have a very big concern about litigation towards the city. Is there anything that you suggest other than allowing to have, set this date at 12/1?
Councilman Carlisle, we actually amended the zoning code because of this site. The last time it filed an application, it went to the Land Use Control Board, and the Land Use Control Board conditioned its action, moving it up to City Council, on a revised site plan. The applicant was unable to produce a revised site plan for like 3 months, which just elongated the time that the neighborhood had to think about this case. So based upon that experience, I don't think this neighborhood would be amenable to an additional stretching out of the public hearing just based upon the last time we did it.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Councilman, I feel like Councilman Ford's comments were very, very clear, and that he wishes to either proceed forward December 1st or they pull it. Council Lady Johnson, do you have a question as regards the setting of the date of public hearing?
I just wanted clarification that we're going to go forward on December the 1st based on what Mr. Whitehead said and possible legal actions we may have to face. So if that's where we are, fine. I'm with that.
Yes, ma'am.
I think
Yes,
if the body's mind is made up, we can vote today, but whatever.
Well, we have to set the date of public hearing to then have a public hearing to then have the debate. All right, then, because it was a little unclear, and this is actually the first in 5 years when we've run into this. Colleagues, the motion on the floor is a separated question to set the date of December 1st. I'll move it. Who is seconding?
Seconded by Smiley.
Been properly moved by Colbert, seconded by Smiley. This is item 7. I see no other members in the queue. Chair Lady, you have the ball.
Madam Comptroller, please call the roll on item number 7.
Councilmember Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Colbert,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley,
Yes.
Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye. That motion passes. Thank you. Madam Comptroller, will you call item number 11? Then we'll go back to our regular consent agenda.
Item number 11 is a resolution approving the final plat for One Bill Phase 3, PD 18-10.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Vice Chairman Colbert.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Colleagues, this is approval of the final plan. I believe we pulled it just so because Councilman Canali needs to recuse himself. So for the purposes of discussion, I'll move it. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Seconded by Warren. We'll go into any and all discussion. This is item 11. I'm setting up the queue. Do any council members wish to be recognized? Seeing none, wave at me if I'm missing you. Seeing none, I assume you're ready to vote. Moved by Colbert, seconded by Warren. This is item 11. Chair Lady, you have the ball.
Thank you. Madam Comptroller, will you please call the roll on item number 11?
Councilmember Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Recuse.
Vice Chairman Colbert,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley,
Yes, ma'am.
Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye, and that motion carries. Madam
Chairwoman.
Comptroller, will you
Chairwoman, I
Can
believe same night minutes was requested on that item earlier today.
same night minutes without objection?
Without objection.
Add same night minutes. Thank you. Madam Comptroller, I'd like for you to call the items on our consent agenda. Item number 8 is same night minutes as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairwoman Robinson. Item number 8 is a resolution approving the engineering plans for Chick-fil-A number 4615 Summer Avenue, contract number CR-5343. Item number 9 is a resolution approving the final plat for Stone Creek Plan Development Phase 2, PD 06-345 CC, contract number CR-5344. Item number 10 is a resolution approving the final plat for Oaks Edge Plan Development, PD 99-366, formerly PD 93-366 and PD 90-304. The contract number is CR-5345. Item number 12 is a resolution approving the final plat for Homes Tullahoma Plan Development Phase 6, PD 98-301 CC. The contract number is CR-5347. Item number 13 is a resolution approving the Buckingham Farms Plan Development Parcel J sewer improvements, case number PD 16-15CO, and authorizing release of the refundable bond. The contract number is CR-5279. Chairwoman Robinson, that concludes our consent agenda items.
I need a motion, please.
Move it, Colbert.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Let me see.
Chairwoman?
Item. Yes.
Item number 12 in that group, I just want to be clear. I think same night minutes was requested for that as well.
Without objection.
Thank you. Number 8.
It's not, we already have number 8 and number 12. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I have 8, 11, and 12. I got it. Thank you. Madam Comptroller, thank you for calling those items. They were moved by Councilman Colbert, seconded by Councilman Warren. Will you please call the roll on the consent items?
Councilmember Canali? Councilmember Canali? Carlisle?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Colbert?
Yes.
Easter Thomas?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Jones?
Aye.
Logan?
Aye.
Morgan?
Yes.
Smiley?
Yes, ma'am.
Swearingen?
Aye.
Warren?
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson?
Aye. That motion passes. Councilman Canali, did you have a vote on this item?
Yes.
Thank you, Chairwoman Robinson.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That motion passes. Madam Comptroller, please call the MLGW fiscal consent agenda with same night minutes being requested on items 14 through 27.
Item number 14 is a resolution approving change number 1 to contract number 11793 over the phone language interpreter service with Universe Technical Translation Incorporated. Item number 15 is a resolution approving change number 1 to contract number 12121 identity manager support with Consensus Consulting LLC, doing business as Consensus Technologies, in the funded amount of $30,000. Item number 16 is a resolution approving change number 4 to contract number 11462, electronic board agenda software solution with Granicus, formerly ACL Incorporated, in the funded amount of $37,216.37. Item number 17 is a resolution awarding a purchase order to Thomas Consultants, Inc. for net backup software licenses in the funded amount of $116,766.58. Item number 18 is a resolution approving change number 3 to contract number 12009, professional IS support services with VACCO Memphis LLC in the funded amount of $937,432. Item number 19 is a resolution approving change number 3 to contract number 12007, professional IS support services with Strategics Technology Incorporated in the funded amount of $1,179,716. Item number 20 is a resolution approving change number 3 to contract number 12010, professional IS support services with Next Tech Solutions LLC in the funded amount of $1,214,744. Item number 21 is a resolution approving change number 3 to contract number 12008, professional IS support services with CTD Staffing LLC in the funded amount of $964,488. Item number 22 is a resolution approving change number 3 to contract number 12012, professional IS support services with Cook Systems International Incorporated in the funded amount of $1,056,816. Item number 23 is a resolution approving change number 3 to contract number 12011, professional IS support services with Cook Technologies Incorporated in the funded amount of $1,174,780. Item number 24 is a resolution approving change number 3 to contract number 11951, professional IS support services with Cyber, an HTC Global company, in the funded amount of $1,350,688. Item number 25 is a resolution awarding a purchase order to Border States Industries, Inc. for high voltage capacitors in the funded amount of $120,954. Item number 26 is a resolution awarding contract number 12164, Shaw number 5, transformer installation to Consolidated Electrical Services, Inc. in the funded amount of $72,000. And item number 27 is a resolution awarding contract number 12193, grounds maintenance and landscaping services to Rotolo Consultants, Inc. in the funded amount of $81,224.35. Chairwoman Robinson, that concludes our MLGW fiscal consent items.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Councilman Morgan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for approval of the MLGW fiscal consent agenda.
Second, Carlisle.
Thank you. I don't see any members in the queue. Madam Comptroller, that item was moved by Councilman Morgan, seconded by Councilman Carlisle. Will you please call the roll on the MLGW fiscal consent agenda?
Councilmember Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Colvette,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes, yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley, Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Abstain.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye. That motion passes. Thank you. Madam Comptroller, will you please call our add-on items 34, starting with item number 34, 35, 36, and 37. Thank you.
Item number 34 is a resolution amending the Council Emergency Relief Program. This resolution is sponsored by the administration. There is a request for same night minutes.
Thank you. Councilman Chairman Jones.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This item came before committee, was approved, and I so moved.
Second,
Second.
Carlisle.
Carlisle, thank you. Are there any questions by members? Seeing none, Madam Comptroller, that item was moved by Chairman of the Budget Committee Jones and Councilman Carlisle. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Colbert,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley,
Yes.
Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye, that motion passes. Thank you. Item number 35.
Item 35 is a resolution accepting and appropriating federal fiscal year 2020 Port Security Grant Program grant funds in the amount of $274,500 from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. This affects all council districts. This resolution is sponsored by the administration. There is a request for same night minutes.
Thank you. Chairwoman of Public Safety and Homeland Security, Swearingen.
This item received a favorable recommendation. I so move.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Comptroller, I don't see anyone in the queue. This item was moved by Chairwoman Swearingen, seconded by Councilman Warren. Please call the roll on item number 35.
Councilmember Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Colbert,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley,
Yes.
Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye, that motion passes. Thank you. Madam Comptroller, item number 36.
Item 36 is a joint resolution of the Shelby County Board of Commissioners and Memphis City Council appropriating funds to the Parks and Neighborhoods Department for grass cutting and debris removal from certain cemeteries located in the city of Memphis for fiscal year 2021 in the total amount of $15,000. This item requires a reallocation transfer of FY 2021 commission contingency funds in an amount not to exceed $15,000 to the Division of Public Works. All council districts are affected, and this resolution is sponsored by Councilman Ford. There's a request for same night minutes.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Chairman Smiley of the Public Works and Solid Waste Transportation and General Services Committee.
I love the long title. Madam Chair, the committee may recommend approval, and I so move.
Second.
Thank you. I don't see any council members in the queue. Madam Comptroller, that item was moved by Councilman Smiley or Chairman Smiley and seconded by Councilman Warren. Would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Colbert,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley,
Aye.
Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye. That motion passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item number 37.
Item number 37 is a resolution approving a MLG&W claim settlement in the amount of $300,000. This resolution is sponsored by MLGW Division, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Thank you, Councilman Morgan, or Chairman Morgan of the MLGW Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. This item was heard in attorney-client meeting, and I move for approval.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Comptroller, there are no questions in the queue. This item was moved by Chairman Morgan and seconded by Councilman Carlisle. Will you please call the roll on item number 37?
Councilmember Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Colbert,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
No.
Smiley, Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Abstain.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye. That motion passes. Thank you. Madam Comptroller, will you please call item number 31?
Item number 31 is a resolution approving the 2021 budget of the Memphis Light, Gas, and Water Division for operation and maintenance expenses and capital expenditures. This resolution is sponsored by MLG&W Division.
Thank you. Chairman Morgan of the MLGW Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This item was heard in committee and moved to this agenda without a recommendation. I move for approval.
Second, Carlisle.
Thank you. Madam Comptroller, I don't see anyone in the queue. Will you please call the roll on item number 31? It was moved by Chairman Morgan, seconded by Councilman Carlisle.
Councilmember Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Colbert,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley, Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Abstain.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye. That motion passes. Thank you very much. We'll have a little station break here. November is the month that we call our attention to 15 million babies that are born prematurely, and today is the specific day that we recognize World Prematurity Awareness Day to work towards reducing the number of babies who die each year from being born too early. I want to thank the ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority and the March of Dimes for their work in trying to make sure that the pregnancies in this community end with healthy babies. Our Next to the last item on our agenda this afternoon is required by our council rules. And I will open the floor for nominations.
Madam
I
Chair,
will get the yes.
could we hear the Vice Chair first?
Of course, that's what I was about to do if you allow me to finish. Thank you. I'd like to get a nominations and then announce that nomination when that item is closed. The first nomination I'd like to accept will be for Vice Chairman for the 2021 year of the Memphis City Council.
And for the record, that's item number 33.
Thank you. And I'm looking in the queue.
Councilman Smiley.
Councilman Jones. I see Councilman Jones and then Councilman Smiley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the Vice Chairman of the Memphis City Council, I nominate Councilwoman Jamita Swearinger.
Second.
And who seconded?
Easter Thomas, second.
Thank you. And then I have Councilman Smiley.
I was doing the same thing that my colleague Councilman Jones did, but of course, I'm out.
Okay. Okay. Seeing no other nominations.
You have Councilman Carlisle in the queue, Madam.
Let me see. Okay,
I was just
Councilman
gonna-
Carlisle.
Without objection, I move to close nominations.
And elect Jamita by acclamation.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Jamita.
Now you get to read off those letters to the council.
Yes.
You get to keep a straight face and practice your radio voice, my friend. You're going to do a great job.
If I can be anything like you, I will be awesome. Thank you so much, colleagues, for your vote of confidence. I am humbly appreciative, and I hope to serve you well.
You will.
Okay, thank you. Now I open the floor for nominations for the chair of the council for 2021. And I am looking in the queue. Councilman Smiley, are you in the queue again?
Yes, Madam Chair.
And for the record, this is item number 32 on the agenda.
30 what? You told me the last one was 33. This would be 34. Is that correct?
No, 32 was the council chair and 33 is the council vice chair.
Okay, thank you so much. Councilman Smiley and then Easter Thomas, are you in the queue? No? Okay, Councilman Smiley.
What is in the queue?
Ford, okay. So let's Councilman Smiley, then Ford.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll take about 2 minutes. Okay. On legislative bodies, there are certain individuals whose value and worth to the body as a whole is simply immeasurable. The truth of the matter is, oftentimes it is taken for granted because he or she is the consummate professional. More specifically, Councilman Jones has served the city of Memphis well. When it comes time for budget, the council, which is made up of essentially 6 new members, needed and relied on Councilman Jones' thoroughness and insight as it relates to budget. It would have been a struggle to get to this point without him. He has led in a manner that the city of Memphis as a whole will be proud of. As for me, an individual who was elected to represent the will of Super District 8, I must note while on the campaign trail before the election of October 3rd, 2019, there were 2 questions that I heard frequently before citizens would even consider giving a young lawyer who recently moved back home to the city of Memphis a chance. The questions were, are you running against Councilwoman Patrice Robinson? I would say no. Then without missing a beat, they would ask, are you running against Councilman Jones? When I would say no, it was like clockwork that they would say they would be willing to take a chance on me. With that being said, out of respect for those who cast their vote for me, but first giving deference to Councilman Jones, I unequivocally and with much enthusiasm nominate Councilman Jones as the chair of this most prestigious body, the Memphis City Council.
Second, Easter Thomas.
Thank you. Councilman Ford.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Frank Corbett, chair.
Second.
2021. As rules and regulations are usual.
Yes, sir.
Chair usually takes the position of the chair. The vote of the vice chair is the most important because rules and regulations, when I was on the council before, that's how it was always, because the vice chair learns from the chair. He takes over. And that's why I would nominate Corvette, and I ask other colleagues to please vote that way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Without objection, I move to close nominations.
Without objection, we're closing the nominations. We have two nominees, that's Jones and Covette. At this time, I want the comptroller to call the roll, and council members, will you please state who you're voting for, Jones or Covette?
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, point of information. Yes. Are we going to give Vice Chair Covette and Councilman Jones the opportunity to say a few words before we make our decision?
That don't work, no.
Let me ask council members, this is your meeting. This is our council. If you'd like to hear from our two nominees, we can. Is that your choice? All in favor that want to hear something from the nominees, please say, I do.
I do.
I do.
Okay, so we're going to hear from the first nominee, Jones, and the second nominee, Covette. Let's keep it to 2 minutes, please. Staff, please hold us to the time. Councilman Jones.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Mr. Smiley, for the confidence in nominating me to lead the Memphis City Council for the 2021 year. Colleagues, each of us, duly elected 13 of us, we want nothing but the best for our city and the people that live here. We may just have different ways philosophically to get there. While city council races may be nonpartisan, there's no secret where anyone sits along the political spectrum. We were elected by constituents that are largely partisan and a majority of which align with democratic principles. Those principles suggest that we believe that living wages and that privatization isn't the way to go for the delivery of city services. Those principles compel us to invest in communities, in neighborhoods. If there's a question of where our community leanings are, that was answered resoundingly on November 3rd, when the Democratic nominee for president received 64% of the vote versus 34% of the vote. And so let me first say, I emphatically enjoy serving with each and every one of you. As elected council members, our vote doesn't belong to us individually. Our vote belongs to the people that elected each of us. And with that vote, we're speaking on their behalf. I would contend that an overwhelming majority of the residents of Super District 8 want progress over conserving the policies and practices that they've been subjected to before we were elected. Not a single one of us is entitled to our roles as council members. We each had to state our case as to those who voted for us why we were the best candidate for this. And there isn't and shouldn't be an automatic ascension to the role of chair from vice chair, because if it was Mr. Ford, Edmund Ford Jr. would have been the council chair in 2017. When selecting a council chair, I'm of the opinion that that vote should be aligned and representative of the direction in which our constituents in this city want to go and the initiatives that this city should be embraced. The role of the council chair shouldn't be a position of entitlement either. Well, colleagues, I ask for your support for the 2021 year for the Memphis City Council.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Covet.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Colleagues, it's an honor to be a Memphis City Councilman. It's been an honor truly to be your vice chairman and to have worked with you. And I hope that through all the things, whether we've agreed or disagreed, I hope you have felt and I hope you have seen that I attend and will always run meetings fairly, orderly, and follow procedure. Even when I don't agree with you, I've had many a conversation where I have actually given you ideas about how you might use Robert's rules or move things forward. Because I believe in fairness. Because I believe that all 13 of us represent the city of Memphis. All of us. As I went to JB Smiley's Get Out the Vote event, the one thing that struck me is that we are Memphis. Not one sector, not one group. We are Memphis. To move Memphis forward requires us all to work together. I hope as vice chairman that you are now used to the way I have always run planning and zoning. I try to make sure that you all have a chance to speak, that we do it in the proper order, and that we spend the appropriate amount of time debating our issues. It has been the thrill of my life to be your planning and zoning chairman because I've always been fascinated by it. The opportunity to lead you is one of the greatest honors. I take it extraordinarily seriously, and I am truly humbled. I appreciate and ask for your support. Mr. Ford, thank you so much for nominating me. It is a pleasure to serve with you, sir. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard from both of our candidates. Madam Comptroller, will you please call the roll? And council members, please state who you're voting for, Jones or Covet. Madam Comptroller.
Councilmember Canale,
Covet.
Councilmember Carlisle,
Covet.
Councilmember Colette,
Covet.
Easter Thomas,
Jones.
Ford,
Covet.
Johnson,
Covet.
Jones,
Jones.
Logan,
Jones,
Morgan,
Covet.
Smiley,
Councilman Jones.
Swearingen,
Councilman Jones.
Warren,
Covet.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Covet.
Congratulations to Ms. Covet.
Congratulations, Mr. Covet.
Thank you, Councilman Jones. We've got a lot of work in front of us. I hope we will all pull together, and I know you will. I look forward to it. Thank you for this honor.
Okay. Council members, please review your same night minutes. Vice Chairman Covet.
Can I say something, please?
Yes, Councilman Ford, please do.
Okay. Councilman Jones, you shouldn't have went there. Don't ever go there again with me and my family, my son or anybody else. You did it once before. You did it once before. Do not go there anymore. You keep your comments to yourself because you don't want me to come out there and talk about you while you on the school.
Mr. Stating facts of when you were not.
Because you got butthole problems, don't you?
You were not here when that was the case, sir.
Staff, will you please close the mics? Thank you. Shut them down. Everybody's mic that's not acknowledged by the chair.
My mic is off, but he's a little short ass man.
Turn the mics off, staff, please. Councilman Coviat, will you please say my minutes?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chairman. Colleagues, we have same night minutes and staff expect me 8, 11, items 12, 34, 35, 36, and 37. I find them to be in order and urge and move their adoption.
Second.
Thank you. Seeing no members in the queue, Councilman Coviat moved this item, and it was seconded by Councilman Warren. Madam Comptroller, please call the roll on same night minutes.
Councilmember Canali,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Colvette,
Yes.
Easter Thomas,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Logan,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Smiley,
Yes, ma'am.
Swearingen,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
Chairwoman Robinson.
Aye. That motion passes. Councilman Coviat, will you please read our comments into the record?
Well, Vice Chair Lady Elect, just get ready. Here it comes, Jamita. Get your radio voice. All right, here we go. We have one letter from Don Tummins of 2081 Hickory Crest Drive. He writes to us. My question is, what good is it to reduce the speed limit if there is no one enforcing it? City Council needs to step up and fund the MPD so we can hire more officers. We hear drag racing with these loud cars every night, often speeding down Kirby Parkway or 385, weaving in and out of traffic. Who is going to stop this? Our officers are too busy handling major crimes. I suspect most people don't even know the speed limit if you ask them, because they feel they can drive at the speed they feel like driving without any penalties. I do not blame the MPD. We need to support them. Madam Chairman, that concludes the letters to the council. I move to recess.
Second.
Second, please. Thank you.
Second.
This meeting is now in recess.